Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of Sports Shorts. Ronnie Rance alongside Joel Davis. We're presented each and every week by L'Auberge Casino in Baton Rouge. Over at L'Auberge Casino, coming up, we got the great concert in the month of May. Want a little Color Me Bad and Tone Loc on the same night, Coach, in May. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com, or you can go by the Sundry store inside L'Auberge. Going to be a great show. Going to be sold out, so make sure you get your tickets now. All kind of other shows coming up, and all you got to do is download the L'Auberge Baton Rouge app for free on your phone, and you can check it out online and see all the shows that they have coming up. Joel Davis joining us.
Yeah.
JD back from his extended vacation over in Indonesia.
Not a vacation.
Most
Not
people-
a vacation.
You're not laying out on the beach in Indonesia?
No, I'm in a warehouse.
Ooh.
A warehouse where furniture is being finished and stained and painted and packaged and very dusty.
By everyone over the age of 18. And
I mean, that's so absurd.
well, I mean, but everybody
Of course.
thinks that,
Well,
right?
why?
You hear
This is-
Indonesia.
Indonesia is not a Chinese sweatshop. I mean, this is a very different culture, a very different world than, say, where you hear about the Chinese manufacturing.
Little kids eating lead while they're making furniture. That
it's
doesn't
not
happen
like
at
that.
your
Now,
place.
I have 2 young kids that do run around the warehouse. That's kind of like my nephew. His name's Raphael. And Raphael is the son of my partner. And here's the funny thing is, as men, we want our children to grow to be better than us, right? Well, Raphael, he's got a sister named Bianca. Bianca is kind of like my little niece, right? Because my partner's like my brother. We've been working together for 15 years. So Bianca wants to go to the university in Jakarta and become like a doctor or something. Like she's always with her mom trying to do medical stuff, and she has visions of greatness.
Right.
She's like 4. Raphael is 9.5, about to be 10. Raphael, I swear, he's all about the village. He's a village boy. He doesn't want to go to McDonald's like everybody. Every other kid wants to go to McDonald's, which is about a 45-minute drive into the city. He don't want McDonald's. He didn't want anything other than what's in the village. He wants soto ayam, right? That's like the village soup. He also wants to continue his career into the village. He wants to be a sander.
That's it.
That's his goal.
To be the world's best sander.
World's best.
Hey.
I mean, he wants to literally sand furniture all day long.
Yeah.
His father is like this.
Right. He's like, I've been sanding all my life.
I've been
You don't
sanding
want
all
to do
my life,
this.
making furniture all my life, and here's my son who has an opportunity to do unbelievable things, go to the university.
Right.
No, doesn't want to leave the village.
Yeah. Well,
All village boy.
there you go. Now it's up to you to
We've got the future.
pass on Woodhaven to
Well,
your children.
My
and then,
children don't want to sand. They don't want. They
Yeah, but
don't.
they don't have to sand. They got a guy, Raphael. All right, so much to get to in the world of sports. We do this show each and every week, and of course it airs Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursday nights on Pelican Broadcasting. So since we did the show and since Joel's been out of the country, we've had some big sports stories.
Like what?
Oh, well, I mean, we talked about it on the show last week, but I mean, Tiger Woods, that's worth you getting a take on.
What did he do?
He
I'm just
might
joking.
also look in the what's a bigger story really last week from the standpoint of Tiger Woods in Baton Rouge in South Louisiana.
A lot of
Tiger
good
Woods
stuff.
with Joe Oliva and Scott Woodward getting hired. Joe Oliva getting fired, the athletic director at LSU, and Scott Woodward
Way
getting
bigger
hired.
news to me than the Tiger. I mean, Tiger Woods, obviously, comeback story of the century. I mean, unbelievable that what he's able to do with between in a 10-year process of having his back fused and couldn't chip, couldn't putt, couldn't drive, couldn't do anything. His game has changed quite a bit. But bigger than that is Joe Oliva getting canned. Got a limp mic here, big guy.
Yeah, you might want to tighten that up.
Get more excited. No, he is canned, and that's great for LSU. But even bigger than that is getting Woodward. I mean, Woodward is huge. I mean, if you can find an AD with a great history of doing well in his job, that eats crawfish and has a camp, I mean, you can't beat it. I mean,
He's the
beat
coach
it.
O of AD.
Well, he's going to have to sell. He has to sell. He has to go out and fundraise. And he can sit down with a guy that owns a big construction company in the city of Baton Rouge or in the surrounding areas. It's a former LSU guy or that is an LSU guy. And he can sit in that guy's office and connect with him. Joe Oliva, I mean, what connection does he have with people like that in this city, in this state?
Well,
Doesn't.
I think it's more about. I think Joe Oliva could have been fine. It's just that his personality was he just didn't want to. He didn't have the want to factor.
Because he's not good at it. He doesn't want to hang out with the crawfish eating, camp eating guy.
But it's not even that. He's just not a warm and fuzzy guy. And look, Scott Woodward's not going to necessarily have to be the one that has to ask. Rick Perry and his staff and Dan Canterbury, Justin Vincent,
but he come in,
but Scott Woodward's going to be there, right? He's going to be there to shake the hands and kiss the babies and do the dinners and
suck the heads
and go hunting with the right guy or whatever the case may be.
Is Joe Oliva going to suck down a crawfish head and close the deal?
He never did.
No, it's because that's not his bag,
right?
And that's not the guy you want. You got the right guy. I mean, you hit a great. I was reading that when I was in Indonesia. I was like, oh my God, that is unbelievable. And if you just watch Twitter, the Twitter universe was like, they couldn't believe
there was nobody there was nobody that didn't agree with the hire. It's probably
nobody.
The most slam dunk decision LSU's made in sports, maybe ever.
Who made the decision? Like, did that come from King Alexander? I doubt that very seriously. I don't think that he's the guy that pinpointed the guy. Who pinpointed the guy?
This is what's kind of being reported as what really led to the expediting of this, right? LSU, a few weeks ago, announced a $1.6 billion campaign to raise money, not only for LSU, but even some of the LSU branch institutions around the state over the next, 10 years, right? This master plan to raise all these billions of dollars to help kind of stabilize the LSU system, for the future. Well, they haven't done supposedly out the box. They had this big party out on the parade grounds and a big announcement, and they had Parish County Line play, and they had a fancy dinner and dancing and all these different things. Supposedly, the phone calls haven't gone so good, right? And most of the feedback has been, hey, not until there's new leadership, specifically when they're talking about sports phone calls, new athletic director. And probably, quite honestly, King Alexander ain't long for the door anyway. But the bottom line is when you are trying to raise $1.5 billion and you're not raising any, and everybody's telling you this is what has to happen. Right. And, oh, by the way, it's not like everything was great to begin with. It makes it easy. So back channel. Obviously, there were some conversations going on with Scott Woodward. And, of course, we don't know. We'll wait for the tell-all book at some point to know exactly when the first conversation happened. And was it Richard Lipsey? Was it somebody else? When did it happen? Was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? We don't really know, right? But we just know that they got it all lined up. They got the handshake deal done behind the scenes. Once they got the green light, then it all got presented like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Out with Joe, in with Scott.
Well, it had to have been going on for some time for it to happen the way it happened, as quickly as it happened.
I would, think a week or two. I don't think it needs to be more than
right.
that.
But I think the second that Joe Oliva suspended Will Wade and all that started going on.
What you're going with?
Yeah, I'm saying the second that happened, it was like, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, this is ridiculous. Look at this news. I was telling you that they had destroyed the LSU brand for a good month. They had just crushed it. Like, you can't handle your business that way. And, LSU's, the brand itself, the people that make those decisions had to make a big splash to kind of clean all that up. And they did, man. They hit a grand slam.
Well, it's interesting. And as we tape the show on Monday morning, and it's expected that there'll be a press conference on Tuesday to announce Scott Woodward officially as the next AD at LSU. But you mentioned the Will Wade situation. I definitely think there was some frustration with that, and as things lingered. I mean, look, it goes back to the frustration with Les Miles. Mm-hmm. They were going to fire him before the Texas A&M game. Then they flip-flopped. I think Joe Oliva got neutered on that deal by by King Alexander. Because he had it all lined up behind the scenes. If you're to believe the stories and the sources over the last couple of years, everything was set up to bring in Jimbo Fisher. He got neutered by Alexander, and when that happened, you realize, wait a minute, we've got a lame duck athletic director.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what happened there.
Yeah.
So then Oliva had to make the decision: do I stay here as a lame duck AD or go someplace else? And he realized the job security and the cash was worth being a lame duck.
Important.
And then as things started to unfold over the last couple of years, but Joe Oliva always was outspoken of Les Miles, right? I mean, it didn't take you could be at a
He's
table.
outspoken at
You could
everything.
be next at a table at a restaurant, and he would tell everybody with an earshot that he wasn't a Les Miles fan.
But
Going back
he's-
to 10 years ago.
But he's
know.
but that's exactly what I didn't like about Oliva. I don't need my AD to be in the news. I don't need you, the AD, who does really nothing, right? You make a higher decision, and then you go be quiet. Go sit in the corner and shut your pie hole and direct some traffic. Direct some traffic from behind the
AD
scenes.
does nothing.
Well, he didn't do a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot. Of course they do a lot. No, I think a high school athletic director does more than he does. I swear to you, I really do. I believe that Sonny Chaponche, the AD at Turlings Catholic, probably does more daily than Joe Oliva did. That's just my opinion. I'm in the high school offices. I see what these ADs have to deal with. All these different sports and all these different moving parts and buses and blah, 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 and dealing with parents.
And they don't have assistants.
And they don't have assistants.
Right.
You're absolutely right. He has no assistants. And then you look at Joe Oliva. Joe Oliva, I mean, what did he do daily? I mean, I really like to see what he does when he shows up at work at 8, reads a couple of emails, sends out a couple of emails, meets with a couple administrators. I mean, literally, what did he do other than find himself in the front page of the Advocate all the time for negativity? And then talk about Les Miles at dinner with other people. I mean, it's just terrible. Your AD's got to support your coach. Just shut your pie hole. So glad he's gone. We got one more to go. We got one more to get out of there, and I think that things will really turn around.
Will Wade, by the way, back out of jail, hypothetical air quote jail.
Oh, he was in jail. He was in jail.
He was in career jail.
Career jail.
He's back. He's released. He was at the box all weekend long for the LSU series victory.
Did he have
2
a
out of
pimp
3.
suit on by any chance?
No,
he should.
He was rocking his shorts and pullover like he always wears. But he was there Friday and Saturday and going around the suites and visiting everybody. It had to feel good for him.
Absolutely.
To get out of that career jail. I mean, I can't imagine what his life was like for the last month plus, not knowing if what was going to happen not only with his own personal career, but what was going to happen with his program and
Right.
everything else. I mean,
Right.
pretty incredible. But he nonetheless was in a good spirits. They showed him on the jumbotron, got a huge ovation from the crowd, and it was good to see Will Wade back.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm hoping he stays. I think that he had to see Oliva leave, right? I don't see how those two guys could work together again. So the fact that he was coming back, you knew the writing was on the wall that Oliva didn't stand by his man. He didn't. He was kind of doing the same thing with him that he did with what that he would say about Les Miles.
I'll say this, as negative as and there's a long list of things that maybe you would have liked to have seen your AD do better over the last 12 years. But I think the Will Wade situation, the suspension, man, that's a tough one to put blame on. I think everybody's got a little bit this way,
Well,
a
sure.
little bit left, a little bit right.
But
I think
did Auburn handle it better?
Yeah, but I mean, it's different. It was assistant coaches versus a head coach.
Come on.
And
Play the tapes.
But at the end of the day, if you say to an employee, I don't care what job it is, if you Woodhaven Furniture Company, you're running furniture out of Indonesia via boats over here in America. If you say to somebody, hey man, I need you to meet me in my office, tomorrow morning we need to talk, and he says, no, talk to my attorney, I'm not coming. I mean, that's a line in the sand. That's a Gaddafi line in the sand. Do not cross this line. I mean, it's how do you handle that? And I think
Well,
Will
we're
Wade,
also talking about millions of dollars.
but
at
I think
stake.
Will
It's
Wade
different.
handled that wrongly more than anything. And he hired the wrong attorney when he hired a criminal defense attorney who was probably giving him advice from a criminal defense attorney standpoint, which is don't say anything. Shut your mouth, don't answer phone calls, don't say anything. That's a criminal defense attorney mindset. That was the wrong type of attorney to have, the wrong mindset to have in this situation. They obviously hired the right attorney. They got things right on the back page. But I probably put more blame on Will Wade than I do Joe Oliva. But
Well,
man,
you know what? Here's
but if
Joe
they'd had a
Oliva's
better
problem.
relationship maybe to begin with,
Correct.
maybe it doesn't even get to that
Correct.
point.
I just think that Joe Oliva he just did so many things wrong along the way, and then came in with kind of some sour taste in the mouth.
Yeah, the whole Duke carryover.
thing.
Yeah.
That carryover coming into LSU. Now you got to deal with that. So every time something went awry and didn't look good on paper, and it just kind of came across as really negative. Oliva had no chance. He really had no chance to to look good in the fans' eyes, in my opinion, just because of the way he got here and some of the things that have happened along the way. There was never really any good news coming from that guy. It always seemed to be not handled well, right? It always seemed to be could have been handled better with Joe Oliva. So the fact I hate the fact that the guy doesn't have a job anymore, but he's made a good bit of money.
Well, he does
He's
have a
fine.
job. He's getting paid for the next year and a
he's
half
playing
or so
golf,
to
playing
sit
golf, right.
to be an assistant to the basically to the
till his
to the-
contract expires.
Exactly. He's going to get paid a bunch
but
of money
just-
to do nothing. So he's got a job.
Well, all he has to really do is take what he has. You know, I've always said this. All I need is $2 million, bro. You give me $2 million, I'm living righteous for the rest of my life. I really am, man. I'm not gonna be living on $2 million a year, but I can live on $80,000, interest wise, and live righteous because I got a little business on the side. Got $80,000 coming in doing nothing. That's just a little interest, super safe interest. Don't you agree? You could do. How much you need? How much you need, Ronnie, to say, you know what? Hey, take it a little easier. Take it a little easier, a little less stress
Yeah, I
in
think
the
that's
old
a good
run.
number.
$2 million's
That's a
the
good
number.
number.
I'm telling you, $2 million's the number because you put that in you could literally put that in a CD.
Just to get a little 4%.
Get a little 4%, and it's not going anywhere. You're not spending
Four's a
anything.
good number, though. I mean, these days.
4% is a great number.
Yeah.
But if you can find something giving you 6%,
Yeah, that's
If
getting
you
a little
can
risky
find-
to get 6.
you can get 6%. I mean, you can get 6% in some places. I'm not going to the stock market with it. I might even put in a savings account and
Be
get
careful. If
2%.
you're getting more than 6, it might be a Ponzi. Be careful.
There's no doubt.
He's
no
Joel
doubt.
Davis.
But
I'm Ronnie
4%,
Rance.
you're living pretty righteous. You can take some chances with that.
Sports Shorts presented by LeBear's Casino. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about LSU gymnastics. A second place overall finish, third time in the last 4 years. Boy, Oklahoma is a machine, right? It's
Totally
unbelievable.
machine. LSU highest score ever in the finals.
In the finals.
And still didn't win.
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
would have basically their score this year, and I think their score 2 years ago
would have won a national
would have won the national championship when the first time they finished second.
terrible.
It just all depends.
It's
Oklahoma's
it's not
too
in the
good.
cards. It's not in the
We'll
cards.
take a break. We'll talk about that. LSU baseball wins 2 out of 3. New Orleans Saints and the draft coming up. All that next with Joel Davis.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau St. Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sports Shorts. Ronnie Rance, Joel Davis here in Sports Shorts TV, presented by LaBerge Casino in Baton Rouge. We talked a little bit about, of course, the Scott Woodward situation last segment and the great hire that was. Over the weekend, though, LSU baseball shocked the world, winning 2 out of 3 against Florida. In the standpoint of, I've never seen a team, and this has happened all season long, they can look so bad one day and so good the next. They're like a Bubba Gump team. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's what this team is like. I mean, it's amazing. On Thursday, they get pummeled. They're down 13-0 to Florida. They've got 3 guys in their lineup that are hitting up under 200. Things look no Zach Hess. Hilliard doesn't make it out of the second. They give up 6 runs in the second. I mean, it looks like this season is going to tank, and they're going to not make the SEC tournament. That's how bad it looked on Thursday.
Well, if you listen to LSU fan, I mean, the sky was completely falling. I mean, it was fire Maneri. He doesn't know how to coach. Why are we bunting with 1 out, a man on first, and there's in the first inning? I mean, actually, I don't think there was any outs. And I mean, and then we're bunting on in the first inning, 0-0 score. We're not bunting. Why are we not bunting? It's just. Everything's being questioned. Anytime you're losing, you've lost 3 in a row, you're losing midweek games, and you're going to get questioned. I mean,
they had lost 4 in a row. They lost the last 2 to Missouri. They lost to the Raging Cajuns in the
this
Wally
prior
Pontiff Classic, and then Thursday they lost to Florida. So
this
was 4 in a row.
was in Thursday's game. I'm talking about Thursday's game. The sky was falling before that game, before the 4th loss.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
After the 4th loss, everybody wanted to fire everybody.
It wasn't as bad as what the fans thought, but at the same time, I was right there with them. I mean, because this is the thing about this year's team. They really do not look good at times. I mean, they really do. They've won a lot of games this year that they shouldn't have won. They've won a lot of 1-run games. They got a very good record of 1-run games.
But that means something.
It means something.
No, it totally means something.
It means something. But at the same time, it's all about winning in the postseason, right? LSU baseball season is strictly judged about winning in Omaha. Get to Omaha and win in Omaha. We don't really care about anything else. They're not throwing parades. They're not throwing reunions for teams that win SEC championships. They just don't. A lot of other places do. Maybe
you can
Ole
put
Miss
up a
does.
billboard when you come in second.
But LSU, Title IX. But at LSU, they only throw reunions and celebrations for national championships. They do. There's 6 of them. Those are the only teams that have reunions. There's going to be a Champions Plaza or whatever that's being built in front of Tiger Stadium. It's where Skip Bertman's statue is going to be. That's going to open up sometime this year. They're going to have SEC championship plaques and all that. That's it. That's right. Where it is. No reunions, no special anniversaries or anything like that. So because of that, it's only. But can you please fix your mic?
I have no idea.
I've got a stiff mic. You've got a limp mic. What's going on here?
There you go.
The thing that I'll say is
Juvamine Medical.
The thing I'll say is, this team, even though they won 2 out of 3 against Florida, I'm still not a believer.
No,
I'm still not a believer. And they're going to end up with a really good record in the SEC, more than likely at this point. But the reason that I'm not a believer is because I haven't seen them do it for 2 weeks or 5 games in a row. Right? It's look good for 2, and then look good for 2. So hey, look, they got a chance.
How many series they have left?
4
series.
3 series left.
3 series left. Okay.
4 series left. 4 series left. And look, this week is the week,
it's
right?
Critical.
You got Lamar, who's hot garbage, and we hate to hear that because Will Davis is their head coach, and Will was a great, was a player and coach at LSU. His dad, Randy Davis,
always on our show.
Always on our show. Randy Davis, his dad, was recruited me at LSU.
Yeah.
Was an assistant coach, signed me. So I love the Davis family, and I wish nothing but the best for Will. They're not
Will Davis, not Joel Davis family. Will Davis family.
Right, exactly.
Just making sure we got that clear. You said Davis family.
Right. Love the Will Davis
That's
family
right.
and Randy
Make
Davis.
sure that's clear.
But the point is that they're not very good. That should be a win for LSU. And granted, it's a midweek game. But then Alabama's hot garbage, and that's on the road next week. You're going to win 2 out of 3 at minimum over there. You'd love to sweep. You'll win 2 out of 3 at Alabama.
Well, I mean,
terrible.
I don't understand how these guys that had big weeks this past weekend, can't use that as a springboard to having a good week this week. The confidence should be there. I mean, there should be this batting order this lineup should just feel so confident going into the Alabama series, the way they were able to hit the ball this past week. And what is it with Mainieri loving short, stocky guys? I mean, I've never seen more short, thick. I mean, how many catchers does he have on this team that can't catch? I mean, literally, that don't play catcher. I mean, I've never seen for years.
But you're a real big fan, aren't you?
I've never seen the body
short,
type so
stocky
popular.
guys. That's one guy. They got one guy.
That seems like every year we have two or three. Yeah, it is. It's
short and skinny, maybe,
No,
but
short
not
and-
short and stocky. It's not a lot of stocky.
You know.
It's Cade Beloso. That's it. That's the list.
Bianco.
Okay, Bianco. Two.
Okay,
Two
so
guys.
you said one. I said two,
Okay.
and they're both in the lineup.
But look, Cade.
But is there more than one?
Bianco's in the lineup.
What about
they
what
literally
about
have no
those
one else.
twins? What
They
about those
literally have
twins
nobody
that they
else.
had forever? I mean, they're all the same
okay.
people.
So 2 a year. Gotcha.
2 a year.
all right.
But what is the deal? But I thought those were catchers. How are they not catchers? And how can we still not have
Well,
a catcher?
Cade Beloso's left-handed, so that's not. But
I've seen left-handed
but
catchers.
Bianco hasn't ever been a catcher in his life. They supposedly tried him a little bit in the fall, didn't go so well. Look,
That's coaching. That's coaching, Ron.
The thing about this team is the guys that can't hit at the bottom of the order, the guys that aren't hitting, the Biancos and the Garzas and the Hal Hughes and the the C.J. Willises, the Mathises. It's not about them. The bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9, they're going to go 1 for 10. Okay, just deal with it. The top of the order has to be what it was. And finally, Antoine Duplantis.
The bottom of the order has to come
Antoine
through for you
Duplantis
sometimes.
had 9 hits this week, and it's the most he's had in his
unbelievable.
career.
He's unbelievable.
Okay, his batting average went up nearly 30 points this past weekend. That's what they need to have. Josh Smith is sitting around 350. That's what they need to happen.
Yeah, but Ron,
Zach Watson's are
they're not going to win anything unless the bottom of the order gets something.
Not necessarily. Not
Come
necessarily.
on, man.
In Omaha,
Oh, my God.
Omaha a couple years
Okay.
back, UCLA won the national championship. They hit 200 the whole time they were in Omaha.
What was their pitching staff looking like?
Well, yeah. I mean,
how many first
you're right. But
picks
I'm
in the
saying
draft did they have?
But if you've got 6 donkeys in your lineup, that are dudes that are hitting 300 and crushing and all that, then yeah, you can have some outs in the bottom of the order. Just get some productive outs back there. Bunt a little bit, put the ball in play. Don't strike out as much, but you don't have to get a hit. Just move the ball. But I mean, the game is different than it was 10, 20 years ago. It's not about crushing the baseball. It's simply about get to double-digit hits, have productive at-bats, meaning don't strike out as much, and this team has done that way too much. Just cut down on the strikeouts, get to at least 10, 11 hits a game, and let your dudes, Duplantis, Cabrera, Watson, Smith, let those guys be the preseason All-Americans that they're supposed to be while everybody else figures it out.
You're 1 or 2 games away from those guys struggling from being bounced quickly. You have to have guys in the bottom of the lineup that you can count on. I don't believe that.
Well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to
Okay,
happen. This
okay.
team, I mean, look, Mathis isn't going to figure out how to hit. Garza's not going to figure out how to hit. Bianco's not going to figure out how they're going to hit. So it's not going to happen. So if you're judging that they're not going to win because the bottom third of the order isn't very good, I mean, well, then just not going to win, according to you.
And the pitching's not consistent enough at this point.
Well, Cole Henry is the true ace. Zach Hess, who didn't start on Thursday, but here's the thing that's weird about that. Zach Hess had a slightly pulled groin, or as
what?
Growing, as some people call it.
I don't even know what a growing is. I mean, I'm done growing.
Paul Mainieri called it a blood muscle. He strained a blood muscle, is what he said in Missouri, which was weird, or Missouri. That's
really weird. A blood muscle.
So he pulled this blood muscle / groin pull.
Right.
He was.
What would your doctor call it?
Groin pull, I'm sure.
Groin.
So in the Thursday game that Hilliard didn't make it out of the second, Zach Hess was going to pitch in relief if it was a 1-run game.
Right.
Well, then why not start him? That's what I don't understand. Like, if he's healthy enough to pitch
I've
in
never
relief,
seen a coach
why not
more
start him?
questioned than Mainieri.
But why not start him? Because
I'm serious.
If he can't go, then all right, you go out to the mound. He says, "Man, my groin's still tight."
You're growing,
and they give him all the time in the world to get
I've never
loose.
seen a coach more questioned than Paul Mainieri. I really haven't.
About when
just everything. It seems
that's the great thing about baseball is because the manager. In basketball too. I mean, basketball is basketball to a certain extent, but baseball even more so because it's truly black and white, right? It's when to take the pitcher out, when to take the pitcher in, when to get the bullpen up, when to pinch hit this person, when to pinch run, when to bunt, when to not to bunt, when to hit and run. I mean, there's clear decisions that are made constantly through a baseball game that Joe Fan can watch and say, he made the right one, he made the wrong one, or maybe this is why he did it.
Every sport is the same way, Ron. You can talk about that with football, too.
With football, we always wonder who's making the call. Like, is Steve Ensminger calling the play? Is we don't really know. We're not on the headset, right? We don't know which one when Coach O says, "Oh, we're not going to do that. We're going to run the ball to the left." When Steve Ensminger throws the headset
but
because he's all mad. We don't know those situations.
But ultimately, the head coach is responsible for every decision.
I get it, but
you don't think that Paul Mainieri consults with anybody?
No, he doesn't. 100%. I know that. 100%. Paul Mainieri is not taking a litmus poll of his assistants on what do you think we should do right here, guys? You think we should bunt or not? No, he is making the call, decision.
I understand that, but does Paul Mainieri put together all the statistics that help him generate those decisions? Does he put together all the statistics that help him make those decisions?
Hands him the piece of paper.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Coach.
I mean, there's other
paper, but
he's making the decision based off of information gathered from everybody.
But it's his decision,
right?
And we know that is his decision.
I think that football's the same way. I don't think that Sean Payton is letting what's his name, the freaking offensive coordinator.
We know Sean Payton is calling the plays.
You don't think he's calling the timeouts?
But Steve Ensminger's getting paid $1 million a year to be an offensive coordinator. If Orgeron was calling the plays, then they would just go, have some GA do the stuff and hand him the sheet.
I don't think Ed Orgeron is doing anything other than close this thing out, run the ball. And I don't think that he's making decisions in the third quarter to run or pass. I really don't. I think that's Ensminger.
But you don't know. You're just speculating based on sitting at home with your nachos.
The guy doesn't know anything about
because you've never stepped foot
anyway,
in
we're
that.
Getting way off. You're letting this thing really get out of control.
But I mean, like Les Miles. Now we know that Les Miles. We know for a fact. If you listen to Hanging with Hester, if you anybody's been on the show, we know that from all the coaches. We know that there were times where Les Miles shut down Jimbo or others, or said, this is what you should do, or hey, no, we're not going to run it. Let's give it to 32 or whatever, right? We know that happened, but we don't know how much that happens with O. We can surmise because we know Steve Ensminger wants to open up the offense, and we wanted to open up the offense last year.
Well,
and they
I still say that I've never seen a coach more criticized than Paul Mainieri.
And
I mean, for somebody that's won a national championship, who has won a lot of baseball games.
I think that's fair.
And he is
I think that's fair.
Who else are you going to get? Who else are you going to get? Who else would you want? I mean, he does a great job getting players in here. I mean, it's not easy, man. Baseball to me is tough because these kids can get paid a lot of money coming out of high school and leave immediately. He's got to juggle that and recruiting good guys.
With 11.7 scholarships?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, it's
just a joke.
It is. And
softball has 13. LSU
and how many
has 11.7.
paid coaches do you have? How many paid
coaches? You got two
paid coaches.
Full-time paid assistants
crazy.
by LSU.
So Paul Mainieri, to me, for the amount of criticism that he takes, man, that dude's got a lot on his plate, man. I think the guy just needs a break. I mean, you can second guess things, but I really don't want to see anybody else in there. I think that he's great for the university. He's never had negative press. I mean, he's great for the university. He's great for the brand. He's great for recruiting.
Well, nobody's talking about him leaving. Just because you're critical doesn't mean
there's a lot of people that would like to see him go.
Yeah, well, man, that's everybody. Everybody wants to fire everybody.
Stupid.
I mean, that's just. I mean, if you look based on,
you sound like Alabama fan. You didn't win a championship last year. We got to fire Saban.
That's where the bar is for LSU baseball. It's higher than any other sport on campus, right? It just is. If Paul Mainieri and his staff are bothered by the pressure or the criticism, you're at the wrong place. And they know that. I mean,
I don't think he's bothered by the press. Maybe he is. Maybe he is.
Well, of course, everybody. It's human nature to be bothered by criticism, and I know for a fact that he is. But the point is that, you make 1.3 because you're criticizing because people care. If you don't want to be criticized or you don't want people to question or to say, you know what, maybe we should have done this, then go coach at Northwestern State. There's 5 people who know the coaches over there.
Let me ask you a question. You know baseball. If you had that job, if you had the LSU head baseball job, which you'll never get, but if you did, what would you do differently on a day-to-day basis that Paul Mainieri already doesn't do?
Well, I think the thing that you have to do is you have to take a step outside of the program and take a critical look, right, at what's going on. And I think where Paul Mainieri is at right now is he said Alan Dunn's the best pitching coach in America, and he's kind of just stayed with that theme for years. Mm-hmm. So now if you're, do you truly believe that? Okay. If you do
believe
great.
that?
I mean, to say anyone's the best in America, no, I wouldn't put that tab on anybody. I know
somebody has to be the best.
That's like saying, my daughter's the best volleyball player.
Well, hold on a second. But somebody has to be the best. Why can't it be him?
Yeah, I mean,
why can't he truly believe that?
Because what happens is that, coaches are hired to be fired, right? I mean, that's how it is in life. Coaches are any sport.
I just
any
need 2
sport.
years at that job. That's all I need is 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. To
So
get
2
you,
years,
get
I'm
your
good.
number.
Get
But
my
any coach is hired to be fired. Scott Woodward, the new AD, is going to hire basketball coaches and football coaches and baseball coaches. He just is. And so to pigeonhole yourself and to say this one's the best, that means that he's untouchable. I mean, you can't do any better than the best.
Well, but hold on a second.
So I think you've got to take, and then I think what Paul Mainieri's also done is is he willing to self-evaluate on his coaching staff? Is he willing to make changes as life goes on? Whether it's this year, next year, 5 years from now, or are you willing to add and subtract coaches? Skip Bertman did that. He got rid of
how many?
He got rid of a hitting
coaches
coach
has he
and he
had?
hired Jim Swanky, and then he got rid of Jim Swanky and he hired Turtle Thomas.
How many hitting coaches has been at LSU under Mainieri?
Well, one left. The first one was Cliff Godwin, who left to go be an assistant at Central Florida. He got moved up to being the head assistant at Central Florida with Terry Rooney. So that was an increase for him because he was the volunteer coach at LSU. He's getting paid, but he was the volunteer coach. So there was a job. Javi Sanchez was then. Blair Barbier was the first one. He was volunteer.
Right.
Then Blair left to go into private business. Godwin left to go be a head coach, head assistant in Central Florida. Javi was here a long time. Then he left to go into private business and move to Miami. And then he had Micah Gibbs for a year, interim type thing. And then Micah hurt his knee, whatever happened there.
Yeah.
Micah's now video guy while Ochinko's the hitting coach.
Correct.
So that's the order of things since Paul's been there.
So we've had some disruption.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy Cannizaro. Totally forgot about Andy
but we've
Cannizaro
had some,
after Javi, before Micah.
So we've had some disruption there. We've had some quite a bit of change there.
But he didn't fire anybody, right? Like he didn't make any fire. Any
how do you
coaches.
How do you know what he's done?
Because I know every single person involved in those conversations.
Okay, let me ask you
Cliff
something.
Godwin didn't get fired. Blair Barbier didn't get fired.
If there was a
Javi Sanchez
if there was
didn't
a
get fired.
private conversation,
Andy Cannizaro didn't get fired.
If there's a private conversation between Paul Mainieri and a player, say, look, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna replace you, but we're gonna say that you're leaving and you're going to do some other things. Why would anybody tell you I was fired? Why would anybody want that on their resume?
Why do you think they were fired?
I'm not
Okay,
saying.
but
you're saying that Paul Mainieri is reluctant to change, and I'm telling you, he's made changes there.
I'm saying
you're
that
saying that everybody's left.
Change has happened on its own, human nature.
I don't necessarily agree with
that.
that 100%.
The only firing was David Gruey. He fired David Gruey, the pitching coach. That was the only firing. Other than that, they've been solid. They had Terry Rooney, David Gruey, and then Alan Dunn as their pitching
those
coach.
names. What'd you just say?
Terry
Rooney and Grooney?
Terry Rooney went to Central Florida. I think Terry Rooney's now the pitching coach at Houston now, I believe. Yeah. David Gruey is not a coach.
What was the other one again?
And Alan
Rooney?
Dunn's there right now.
Okay.
Rooney, Gruey, and Dunn. That's funny to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
But
Three
anyway,
Stooges.
But anyway, the bottom line is that there's LSU baseball's fine. I think it's okay for us to be critical because the bar is here.
It is.
LSU football, hey, 10-2, playing a New Year's Day bowl game, win one year, win one the next. That's really the bar.
That's the
we
bar.
want to win national championships, but 10-2.
Nick Saban is in your
you got
division.
statues. LSU basketball, get to the NCAA tournament, win a game or two. That's the bar.
But by the way,
LSU baseball, you got to be in the College World Series, or people are saying the season was disappointing.
By the way, before I get out of here, you do realize the draft is this week, and we haven't said one word about the draft.
Yeah, give us a nugget to live by.
Saints are going to draft a player at 62, and that's about all anybody will ever know. I think that they need to go wide receiver, tight end. That's just what I feel. I mean, everybody wants to talk about defensive tackle. Yeah, they need a defensive tackle, but I think someone's going to get cut. I think a veteran somewhere will get cut, offensive and defensive line that they can bring in and fill that void. I think finding a Ted Ginn / Jared Cook on the street after those initial cuts are going to be more difficult to find. A guy that can really stretch a defense either vertically, whether the seam or the outside. I think the seam is the most important because Drew Brees doesn't have the arm he used to have. So tight end is huge. You lose Jared Cook, you're right back to where you were last year. He gets hurt in spring training. Let's say he gets hurt in spring training. He can't play for the first 8 weeks.
Let me ask you this.
Back to the
They
problems you had
signed
before.
Cook for 2 years, about $50 million out of Oakland. The tight end had a great year last year. Best year of his career, and they're getting him at the right time. But let me ask you this. Ben Watson comes out last week that Ben Watson may come back, just about to have twins this week, next week, something like that.
Love to have
and
him.
he may come back. I mean, I think he's got like 9-10 kids.
I don't think he's under contract with the Saints, though.
But he may come back to play in the NFL. My question is, if you're the Saints, would you sign him if he's willing to come back as the backup tight end?
Absolutely.
With that leadership, with his skill set?
No doubt. I think you have to have that conversation. Say, why do you want to uproot your family? I mean, you've been here. You've been here last year. You're here now. I know they made a mistake when they let him go to Baltimore. That was a huge mistake, and they paid for it. This is an opportunity to get a good football player, not only on the field but in the locker room. I think you find a way to keep that guy on the roster and get him involved. I mean, you imagine Jared Cook and Ben Watson on the field at the same time with Michael Thomas and maybe a Paris Campbell out of Ohio State in the second round. Holy crap. I mean, you literally are going to – Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield, Paris Campbell, who is a lightning electric wide receiver who will probably be there in the second round, who can take over that Ted Ginn role. Michael Thomas on the outside, getting your slants, you pick your third downs, blah, blah, blah. And then you got Ben Watson or Jared Cook kind of rotating in. And then hopefully one of those young wide receivers does something in the slot. They could come in and do something.
You need to watch on ESPN. They got the special that they do on some of the high draft picks. Hey, rookie, and they follow
like
the trend. Devin White is one of them.
Oh, okay.
They're following him, and he's unbelievable. And, of course, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. That's going to go.
Metcalf.
Yeah,
I think he's overrated. I really do.
No, I agree with you for his physical freakness.
Yeah.
His production. He's not going to be Calvin Johnson, even though he's got the Calvin Johnson size and skill set. He's not that kind of player.
No.
He reminds me of, what was it, Curse
He
out
reminds
of Florida,
me of
who
Boston.
they called the Freak.
You remember Boston?
Yeah, David Boston.
David Boston for Arizona. That's who he reminds me of.
David Boston. And David Boston had some big moments. I mean, maybe not as many as you'd like.
As soon as he got paid, disappeared.
Yeah. But anyway, it's you need to check it out. And Devin White is a star. He's great on it. All right, he's Joel Davis. I'm Ronnie Rance. We'll take a break. Sports Shorts presented by LeBears Casino. When we come back, we'll tell you about some goings-on with the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. That's coming up in a few weeks.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau Saint Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG, and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sports Shorts, as we're presented each and every week by L'Auberge Casino in Baton Rouge. Download the L'Auberge Baton Rouge app on your phone, and you can check out everything that's going on there. You got all kind of great entertainment in the Edge Lounge most days of the week. You can see the lineup of who's playing. Free entertainment in the Edge Lounge on the floor of the casino. And, of course, you can check out all the great goings-on, the concerts that are coming up. A lot of good stuff. They had a Beatles tribute band this past weekend. They had the Queen official tribute band, of course. Queen right now real big with the movie Bohemian Rhapsody and everything, and so a lot of fun had by all over at L'Auberge last weekend. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame's got a big event coming up, and you don't want to miss it. If you're a gambler, if you're a golfer, or if you're just somebody who's a big fan of Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame annual golf tournament is going to be at the Golden Nugget Casino in Lake Charles. That'll be May 5th and 6th. May 5th, we'll have a pairings party for you from 6 to 9 p.m. Open bar, food, drink, entertainment, auction items. Get a chance to mingle with Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame stars. Also, on the 6th, you don't have to go to the pairings party if your schedule doesn't allow, but you'll have plenty of tickets to send clients, friends, family. But on the 6th, we'll have the golf tournament at 10 o'clock. We'll introduce all the Hall of Famers just before that. And we'll have a $25,000 putting contest going on as well that you get a chance to participate in. All of that presented by Relief Windows. Brandon Holly and his great staff at Relief Windows. That's May 5th and 6th at the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles. And all you got to do is log on to lasportshall.com, lasportshall.com for more information. Well, each and every year, last year in the past years, we always had the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame golf tournament in conjunction with our induction weekend. But our induction weekend generally falls the last weekend in June. This year, it'll be June 6th through 8th because of Peyton Manning's schedule. He's getting inducted this year. But we wanted to take the Hall of Fame induction, golf tournament and bring it to the spring. And so in the future, it'll be probably April. This year, we're doing it May 5th and 6th, of course, at the Golden Nugget. And it was just so much going on with the induction weekend. We have so many events up in Alexandria and Natchitoches that we wanted to kind of make the Hall of Fame golf tournament stand out on its own merit. So that'll be, you can check it out all at lasportshall.com. But before we move forward, let's take a look back. This was last year, our annual Hall of Fame golf tournament. We had it at Oak Wing Country Club in Alexandria. I think it was 100 degrees the day of the golf tournament. I call it the Bataan Death March around the golf course. But here's just a look at some of the highlights of the golf tournament last year in Alexandria.
This has been a historic event ever since the maybe back 10 years now. We've been doing this in Alexandria, and we've had such a support from the community. We thank them so much. And all the inductees and past inductees support the event so much, so everyone has a great time. If you're a golfer, this is the place to be.
You get to meet a lot of new faces every year. It's always different faces, but it is an awesome golf course. And Ronnie was telling me earlier, he's doing it here. He may switch it up next year, but I love it here. I hope we keep coming year after year here, but you always get new faces. Then the inductees, you get to get up and personal with the inductees, and that's what makes this event special.
Oh, it's just exciting to see these athletes that have done so much for the state and for the colleges that they play for and the professional teams and so forth that they represented. We were playing with Gary Reasons today. Play for the Giants and at Northwestern in college. So it's great to see these folks out here and given their busy time to come back to the state and be a part of this if they're not local. And the ones that are local, it's good to see them again as well.
It's a lot of fun. It's good to come back and be a part of the Sports Hall of Fame weekend. It's tremendous to have these new inductees come in and give them a little pat on the back and a good hello and welcome. And to have a chance to come out to play with people in the community, it's pretty special. I'm playing with some great guys from the hospital here in Alexandria. And I look forward to a good, fun day of golf.
Don't matter if you played football, if you played baseball, if you fish, whatever. Athlete's an athlete, and they all stick together and they support each other. And that's the big thing. If if they quit doing that, then it ruins everything. When you go to the Sports Hall of Fame, they just don't take a baseball player. They just don't take it's all range, horseback ride, whatever, and that's what all athletes stick together. So it's an awesome thing.
Well, sports is central in everybody's life, and I think even from a youth perspective all the way up through professional sports, there's a lot of camaraderie around that from communities, and having partnerships with the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, it allows us to produce these types of events that shine more light on the good works that can be done through sports. And sports has been a conduit for all of us through our sports careers, and it's in the business community, it's in the homes, it's in with families. So sports, I think, has been central in my life, and I think it's going to be for a long time to come.
Wow, what a weekend. Thank you so much for joining us for all of the activities that we had going on. And be sure to be on the lookout all year long for all of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame activities. And be sure to join us next year.
For the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame will be at the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles, a 2-day event with a party the night before and a great event on the 6th. Go to lasportshall.com if you'd like to join us. We've got a lot of great celebrities that'll be there, like LSU former Tigers and Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductees. Charles Alexander, Charles the Great, Dalton Hilliard will be there. We got Wayne Toops, the great musician that's going to be playing in the tournament. Justin Vincent will be playing, David LaFleur, and many others. Go to lasportshall.com to be part of it. We'll take a break. Sports Shorts will be back right after this.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau Saint Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG, and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
Can't get enough sports shorts? Tune into Sports Shorts TV on Cox HD Channel 1013 Mondays at 8, Tuesdays at 9, and ETEL Channel 4. That's 52 weeks a year to get educated on sports by the best. Joel Davis and Ronnie Rance.
Well, congratulations are in order for LSU gymnastics. They finished second in the country, and Dee Bro, who of course was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 2017 alongside Ed Reed and Eddie Kinnison and others, took LSU to the national championships and finished second for the third time in the last 4 years. And an amazing turnaround of their season. About 10 weeks or so ago, they lost at Kentucky, which took them out of contention for even winning the SEC regular season championship, and had a score of just barely 196. Well, they almost had a 198 in the national championship, scored their highest final score ever, finished second to just a mega program in Oklahoma who picked up, I think, their third national championship in the last 4 years. And but LSU did a great job. Dee Bro's squad, nothing to be ashamed about. We just wish they one day they're going to get it. Speaking of Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, coming up in just a few weeks, the great 2019 Hall of Fame class, which includes Peyton Manning, Roger Cador. We got Max Fugler, the former Tiger great, Matt Dunnigan, Louisiana Tech and CFL star, and of course Les Miles, T-Berry Porter, our first ever rodeo champion, Baton Rouge's own Danielle Scott, and Charles Smith. That's coming up in just a couple of weeks. Go to lasportshall.com. That's going to do it. Have a good week, everybody.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're an avid sports fan, then you need to check out the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, located in historic downtown Natchitoches, next to the Chateau Saint Denis Hotel and the Natchitoches Convention Center. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is where the rich history of Louisiana sports is told through the pictures, artifacts, and by the legends themselves in video archives. Come to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and Northwest Louisiana History Museum and visit a world-renowned architectural marvel. For more information and to purchase tickets to the annual Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame events, visit lasportshall.com/purchase.
Introducing the Mercedes-Benz family of vans, including the full-size Sprinter and the mid-size Metris. If these are your wingtips, if this is your gourmet latte, then these are your vans. Vans for professionals. Strictly professionals. Best commercial van residual value according to ALG, and starting at just $25,995. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to...
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Heater outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.